Jamie Whitfield with Recovery Matters. And today I have a special guest, LeighAnne Larson, and she is from Friends of Recovery. Hi, LeighAnne. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. So could you just explain to our viewers what FORA is about and what it is?
FORA is the advocacy agency for the Oxford houses in Kansas. We do outreach, training, or a clearinghouse of information. We compile information from the State Board Association, chapters, houses, share that with the community, teach the Oxford House model, and track our good statistics. Right. Like the data, if you stay in an Oxford house for 18 months, in 5 years you have an 87% chance of still being clean and sober.
Wow, that's a
great statistic.
Yes, it is. And so could you also tell us where, how did the FORA get involved with Oxford? How did that become to be?
In 1991, a task force started out of Asbury United Methodist Church. They saw the 60 Minutes program with Paul Malloy on there, and went to the convention that year and spoke with him, and they ended up bringing Paul Malloy back to Kansas, and he helped them open the first Oxford House Santa Fe, which is still in existence today. So 1991 to now, just paying rent. That's for 31 years.
Wow. And so could you tell our viewers who Paul Malloy is?
Oh, he's the founder of Oxford Houses. He started the very first, him and some other gentlemen started the very first Oxford House in Silver Spring, Maryland.
Yes, in 1975.
75, yes.
Yes. And so with that being said, also, what does FORA do for the houses, like the new houses that have just opened in Oxford?
We help, we go to their house meetings, help teach the Oxford House way, the positions. We get donations in the community and pass those on to the houses. We're up to 151 houses in the state of Kansas with almost beds for almost 1,400 people at any given time.
That's amazing. And so also, like, how did you get involved with FORA? Could you tell us a little bit about your backstory?
I'm a person in long-term recovery. For me, that means I haven't used any mind-altering substances since 2008. I moved into an Oxford house. I lived there for a year, and then a job opened up at Friends of Recovery as a coordinator, and got that position. And in 2019, I became the executive director.
And what does your job entail?
A little bit of everything.
What do you do for FORA now?
I collect the grant, I write the grants. I collect the data. I share the data. Do presentations out in the community. We've gotten quite a bit of CARES funding lately, and so we've been hiring people and managing them, training them to.
And so, for people that don't know, what is CARES funding?
Oh, it's the COVID funding that's out to help the struggling communities right now.
Right. Okay. And then also, what else? What inspired you to get a job with FORA and just give back? Like, what made you decide that?
I love just working for the agency that saved my life.
Right.
I learned how, the best thing I ever learned in an Oxford house is you don't have to be best friends with somebody to get along, to work towards a common goal. I learned how to adult in an Oxford house.
Right. What else has Oxford taught you when you were staying there?
Oh, goodness.
And even now.
Even the little things, it's the small things. It's everything's split down into a small enough piece where it's not overwhelming. It's even the chores. You say your chores, like the kitchen, you clean the kitchen, but at the end of the day, the whole house is clean, and you rotate through that. It reminds you to pay your bills on time. Accountability. That's the best.
Right.
The best thing that I learned.
Right.
With the other thing.
So to give our viewers a better understanding as well with Oxford, what are the basic principles that it was designed for?
3 main rules in an Oxford house. So it's transitional living for people in recovery. And so there's no drinking or drugging. You have to pay your own way, so it doesn't cost the taxpayers anything. And no disruptive behavior, so it's a democratic process in action.
Right. And what does that mean in Oxford? To those that don't know.
It's everything's besides those things, everything else is pretty much voted on. I always like to say 80% to get in and 51 to get out. Yeah,
yes.
So it's like pretty much a simple majority. And that's the
democratic process
Yeah,
of it.
yeah.
And that's what makes it amazing.
Motion, seconds, all that fun stuff.
I didn't really know too much about that.
The
until,
Robert's Rule of Order.
Right. And I was like, what is going on in
Crash
here?
course.
So is there anything else you would like our viewers to know about Fora or Oxford? And I do know that we are 501c3.
501c3. Just the Oxford houses, recovery in Kansas. Recovery is possible. We've opened 8 houses in the last 6 months in the state. So, like I said, we're up to over 150 houses, 151, and almost 1,400 people. So, that's quite a few examples of people that
We do recover.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is possible.
Yes, it is. And also, I know living in Oxford, we always had that basic principle too for Oxford is having the best house on the block. Mm-hmm. We no longer are involved with trap houses, so
Yeah.
our Oxford house is the best house on the block.
Yeah, you know, you do the chores twice a month, keep the outside looking good. You bring the trash cans in. I know many houses that have helped the neighbor shoveling snow or raking leaves. So it's just being that good member in the community.
Yeah, and I believe that's important to help us with our recovery and to gain back the responsibility of being productive members of this society.
Learning to adult.
Yes, exactly. And that's what it had given to me as well, is that foundation again that I had lost for 3 years of not paying bills on time or just not keeping commitments. You know, if you say you're going to do something, then you do it. And that is what Oxford also gave me, a foundation of recovery and accountability, and also that financial, you know, commitments that you lose that in your active addiction so easily. So
Very true.
yes. So is there anything else you would like to say to our viewers?
Goodness. Just great things are happening. We're opening a recovery center in Topeka. There's one here in Wichita. It's just that kind of hangout place for anybody in recovery can go to. If you have a bad day, it's a place to have sober functions. A resource center for anybody and everybody in the community.
Well, I want to thank you so much for your time and coming on today. Thank you.